when we were planning for this school year, the Engage in Education leadership team came together and we thought about doing things a little differently than the regular quarterly meeting that we've been having where there's guest speakers or where there's a little bit of table talk. We wanted people to be more engaged in our schools. What a better way for someone to understand what our schools do and to be part of our schools than to spend a day there as principal for the day. We had 21 business and legislative leaders that came out to be a principal for the day today. In visiting schools today, I know that our guest principals saw robotics programs, they evacuated for fire drills, they made sure that all of the buses arrived in time and got those checked off and reported to the front office. They served ice cream to students for rewards, so they were involved in the day-to-day activities of the school. So they got to see our challenges as well as our successes, and what a great opportunity for us to share this. And out of our 21 guest principals, I believe 18 or 19 of those will be reciprocating with the school principal. So at a time that's convenient for both of them, our school principal will go and spend a day and walk in their shoes and understand what their job entails and how can we better prepare our students to take those jobs and leadership roles in the future. Rondo Fernandez from Mojo Grill is a graduate of Lake Weir High School, and so when I reached out to him and asked him if he would like to be a principal for the day, of course he said, yes please, may I go to Lake Weir? So he was so excited today to be back on his campus as a successful business entrepreneur.
I've always been kind of like an A personality, believe it or not, so I reached out to Ms. Beasley and I kind of gave her an outline of what I was hoping to do. She's been great to line up a day that would help me do that, achieve a couple of the things. I'm very passionate about vocational programs, so I wanted to tour those. I love food production. I love seeing kitchens. I love seeing how people do other things, especially feed larger groups. So I wanted to go tour the cafeteria, where some people might have thought that's boring, but to me that jazzes me up.
I think it's an awesome opportunity for us to, in the school system, to partner with some of the community members to talk about our programs and highlight some of the programs that we may not always highlight. Today I know we've talked a lot about vocational programs and we've walked through some of those, and we've talked about some opportunities that maybe we can foster in the workplace for some of our vocational program completers so that they can have jobs, waiting for them when they get done with high school, which is important to our community.
I love the whole leadership aspect. I love to see what other leaders look for in their normal day-to-day operations, what kind of responsibilities they have, how they handle their responsibilities, how they handle staff, how they manage the staff. It's great to learn. I'm always learning on how I can handle my staff better or my clients better, or how I can build relationships better with my staff. So I love being put in positions where I can learn and observe and hopefully take something away that I can use in the restaurants.
It's kind of empowering, and for me it's pretty motivating because I really love what I do, and so it's exciting for me to show even the mundane things that we do. Like we met this morning about some facilities things and some things in the gym, and it's cool for me to give someone else that perspective.
Students are no different than my staff. Gone is the day of being a strict disciplinarian and a mean leader. You have to get people to join your team and bring them along, and seeing how she does that is much the same way that I try to lead my staff. So it's just kind of, if anything, it's confirming the way I've been trying to do things, and to see how people get people to join their team. It's been awesome.
I think it's a good opportunity for us to bridge the gap that exists to really, we've worked a lot in our community and in the school system in the past couple of years with Engage in Education, and this is kind of that next step to bridge that gap to see what in reality, I think some things are eye-opening, the reality of how things are in the school system and how budgets work and how personnel works and how we decide which classes are offered. All of that, I think, is eye-opening for people who work out in the real world, for lack of a better better word, but for them to see those pieces of it.
That is part of the mission of Principal for the Day. So we know that Rondo is going to stay in contact with Principal Beasley and Lake Weir High School. Steve Pelosi has already reached out again to Ben Whitehouse at North Marion High School and said, I would love to be more engaged in your automotive program, and Ford of Ocala is here to help you. So those are the kind of connections that make this day successful.
Ocali Days is a fundraiser we do each year out here at the Silver River Museum in November. It's a collection of historical reenactors and educational exhibits and unique vendors and artists and crafters and musicians. So it's kind of like an 1800s county fair type environment. We see students for 3 days leading up to the weekend, and we see about 11 to 1,200 kids a day for 3 days. And they come out, and it's students only, it's field trips, primarily elementary age kids, and they're learning about Florida history by seeing and doing. We have the 6-gun Wild West attraction reenacting group who will have a booth out here all week to show the kids the old gunfighter memorabilia from 6-gun. We also have a pretty well-known in Florida, at least, blues singer, a man named Willie Green, and he plays very authentic Delta blues. He's 90 years old, so he has really grown up with this music as part of his lifestyle. And so that's an interesting new addition this year.
Marion eLearning is an elementary school within Marion County. It is a virtual school within Marion County, which the state mandates that every district offers alternative opportunities for their students, and our opportunity is Marion eLearning. It's a K through 5 program. It is an elementary school with 2 full-time teachers and a guidance counselor and a program specialist, myself, and these students can come to our program from any school in the district or out of the district if they're looking for that virtual option to work with their student at home as opposed to going to a brick and mortar school.
Tell us a little bit about your book. We just want to know why you're dressed up the way you are. You guys look great. And then immediately following after this, we're going to go next door. We're going to have a bunch of candy and food and have a great time, okay?
Well, this morning all the students came dressed as one of their characters, their favorite characters in one of their books. So we used the opportunity to have a kind of a fall festival with our students, just as if they were at a brick and mortar school. They have an opportunity to come on campus, meet with their teachers, and it was an opportunity for them to show literacy and working in those books and how they enjoy reading, and how we push the reading just like any other school would, with AR and with opportunities to come and do presentations with their teachers.
The program has been fantastic. Honestly, I cannot say enough good things about it. I was one of those parents that was really apprehensive to do homeschool. I felt like I wasn't qualified. I felt like it wasn't something that I was capable of doing, but felt it needed to be done for him. He's always had wonderful teachers. We've been very blessed with that, and they've done a very good job. I just felt like for him, it was time to come home. The teachers here are awesome. We can always tutor with them anytime. They're always available by phone, email, or text, and it really gives a one-on-one experience that you just don't get in the classroom. It's just a lot of enrichment that we enjoy.
We work with our parents every day. We have a lot of students that come from the home education side too, that are looking for a virtual program that still allows them the freedom to do work at home. So we bring them on campus, we introduce them to our teachers, we show them that we have 2 full-time classrooms just like any other elementary school, and I get them introduced to their teachers, I get them introduced to our school counselor and myself. So we want to show them that even though this is at home, we still offer so many of the traditional things a student would receive at their brick and mortar school. There is absolutely no cost to the parent. Again, it's part of the Marion County school system, so we generate FTE just like any other elementary school.
The high school football playoffs begin Friday night with 5 of Marion County's 7 schools involved. In Class 6A, Vanguard hosts Springstead, while Forest travels to Newport Richey to take on Mitchell. This is Forest's first postseason appearance in 5 years. In 5A, Bellevue ends a decade-long playoff drought, traveling to Baker County, while North Marion hosts Clay in a rematch of last year's second-round game, won by the Blue Devils in a 65-58 shootout. And finally, in Class 4A, Dunellen travels to Stark to face Bradford. The Tigers beat the Tornadoes 35-6 in Dunellen in last year's opening round. All games begin at 7:30. As the football playoffs kick off, the volleyball playoffs are winding down. After a walkthrough last week, Westport High is ready to host the state volleyball finals this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Like any walkthrough, we ran into some problems, but we were able to get all those things fixed. We were smart enough and planned ahead enough that we were able to do those things a week in advance. And this week has really helped us to get everything ready for this weekend. We have 2 teams from Marion County, St. John's, and of course Vanguard. 2 teams from Alachua County, Newberry High School, St. Francis High School. 4 teams from Orlando. So we mapped it out. There's at least half the fields from within 100 miles. So that I think that will really help our attendance this weekend.
There are 2 matches Thursday night, beginning with the 4A championship at 6 p.m. and then followed by the 5A match at 8 p.m. Friday night, Westport expects larger crowds as St. John Lutheran battles Geneva at 6 p.m. for the 2A crown, and Gainesville St. Francis faces Seacrest Country Day at 8 p.m. in the 3A final. Saturday is a full day of volleyball, beginning at 10 a.m. with the 1A championship featuring Newberry and Sneads, then a match every 2.5 hours, culminating with what should be the biggest crowd of the weekend as Vanguard faces South Fork for the 7A title at 8 p.m.